education and through health services. This is why I learned what I learned, and I'm convinced that this is correct. As you know, my election as President of the Republic of Indonesia has been a long journey. I took part in 5 attempts, 2004, 2009, 2014, 2019, and the 5th was 2024, so 4 defeats, but final success. What I learned from these 4 defeats, I learned during my campaigns. I traveled the country, I visited the villages, and frankly I was shocked when I saw a lot of children in the villages were very small. I asked their age, and children who I thought were 4, 5, 6 years old, they told me their age was 10, 11, 12. And then I learned that 25% of our children are experiencing stunting growth. So their brain cells are not to the optimum, their bone cells, their muscle cells. So they will be completely weak when they grow up, physically also. So I was thinking that there must be a way. We cannot accept this. And then I saw also the gap between the very rich at the top, and most of my people are still experiencing poverty. And this made me even more determined to have policies that can immediately alleviate these matters. And I did this with determination, and I used the savings that we made from inefficient, unproductive, and frankly, misuse of our government money, government funds, the budget that, very frankly, I would say, has, and had we not carried out strict efficiency, would have evaporated, being part of the corruption that we faced. So this money that I saved would have evaporated to corruption. And this is the money that I used to reallocate to these programs. So I've been accused of being spending recklessly, etc. No, this is reallocation of resources. And by the way, I met, after a few months of my program, I met some leaders from the Rockefeller Institute from the United States who came to Jakarta to study our free lunch program, free meal program, and they told me that this was the wisest choice, the best investment that any country could have made, because for every dollar spent in free meals for the children, the return is, according to the Rockefeller Institute, the return is at least $7 in the near term, but could, in the long term, provide a return up to 35 times. They say that they have done the research for many countries through many years, and this is the result. So I think we are now experiencing this. Some of the members of Apindo came to me I think last week, and they said this. January was the highest domestic consumption for many, many years. I think for the last 10 or 15 years, domestic consumption in January was the highest, and they tell me their experience is because of the free meal program. Free meal program, we have now already 23,000 kitchens, each kitchen employing 50 people in the village. Mothers who never had any income now have income. They're working 3 or 4 shifts to provide food, but also this creates demand. Now each kitchen, each village has a need for eggs, for chicken, for vegetables, for tomatoes, etc. So another 10, 15 farmers have guaranteed offtake. And this results in a multiplier effect, which is creating some sort of boom from the bottom. So this encourages us. And I think this also guarantees or enhances social and political stability. We understand that employment is critical and very important. And this creates real employment, real demand. Now production of nearly all agricultural goods are very high. Now we have achieved the highest rice production in the history of the Republic of Indonesia. On all commodities now we are nearly self-sufficient, except for a few. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can go on and on about our achievements in the first year, but I think I will cut down my short remarks, because as you know, if you give a political leader a microphone, he tends to not want to stop. I think this. So I've met many American business leaders. Even the short time that I've been here, now I'm meeting you. I'm very optimistic. We want to see American companies as strategic partners, and I think I've proven. I think a lot of the long-term players and participants in our economy, I think, will testify how the Indonesian government and myself also continuing in that tradition. We have always tried to protect our investors. We have always tried to be a good host and try to produce the best atmosphere for our investors. And the US is one of our strongest partners. We can never forget that the United States supported our independence struggle. Basically, the United States intervened on our side during our War of Independence.
Download Tribun X sekarang, menghadirkan lokal menjadi Indonesia.